Hey everyone, One Big Boss here, and as you can tell from the title of the video that you clicked on, we are talking E3 2015, well, the one for Sony. Okay, now, starting off, like, I gotta admit that with Microsoft's, E3 conference, I was actually impressed. You know, a lot of people know me, like, I'm not an Xbox person. I mean, I have an original one, I've bought 2 360s in my life, I have a huge library of 360 games, but I've never been really an Xbox One person because they didn't offer me a lot. Technically, they're still not offering me enough to get the system, but I look at it and I was like, okay, this system it's kind of worth owning now. I think it was pretty cool, everything that they did in it, and I was like, alright, you know what? Backwards compatibility, I'm impressed with that. I feel bad for all my friends and everybody else out there that sold their 360 and 360 game library to buy an Xbox One, but yeah, no, I was impressed by them. I was impressed by that. So when Sony came out, I was blown away by Sony. Let's face, like, I did not expect to see what I saw from Sony this year. I wasn't so sure on some things. Like from The Last Guardian, like from out of left field. Although there were rumors that the game was still being secretly made and worked on and everything like that, and but nothing was ever concrete. Like nobody ever like said anything about the game. It's like, well, like, you know, like, oh, it's too costly. It's too much right now. It's eating up our resources. We're just not doing it. Whatever. It's happening, and it looks great. Like I thought it looked really great, and this is I really hope when the game comes out that it's not a flop. I really hope it does well, because it's a game that I personally have been wanting to play for a very, very long time. I mean, it's fucking 8-9 years that game's been in development, or it was first announced at least. Like, shit. I want to play this game. It looks really good. You know, what was some of the other stuff we saw? There was Street Fighter V was there for a little bit. They showed off a quick gameplay trailer for Cammy and Birdie, who, you know, Birdie's from the Alpha series. And I was like, okay, you know, that's cool. I really enjoyed seeing the small footage. A lot of people were bitching and complaining about it, but you know, Capcom has its own resources to show off trailers in other places around the world. I mean, like, you get EVO coming soon, so you'll probably see more characters announced at EVO than you would here. I mean, I think that Street Fighter was mainly just done for the reason to show off that, like, this is PS4 only, and that's all it's ever going to be. Street Fighter V will run on PS4. Maybe Super Street Fighter V or Ultra Street Fighter V will be on Xbox One. I don't know. But yeah, no, pretty good. I was happy with that. Destiny came out, and I was like, okay, there's new Destiny. I'm still not interested in the game. I can't get into the game. I do not like the game. I tried it, and it just bores the ever-living hell out of me. Like, I'm sorry. I don't, I really don't enjoy Destiny. I thought I would because it was the guys from Halo, but quite frankly, it's just not my kind of game. And, let's see. Oh, yeah, another game that kind of surprisingly got my attention was No Man's Sky, or No Sky. Yeah, No Man's Sky. Visually it looked stunning as hell, and I thought it was just like exploring stuff, you know. And they showed the actual the combat within space and on the ground and all this other cool stuff, and visually it just looks very impressive to me. And I'm just like, okay, you know what? Like, I'll give it a shot. It looks pretty different, but I will give it a shot. So yeah, that game, alright, not too bad on Sony's part. Hitman came out, which I was happy about. I mean, because I love the Hitman franchise, and I don't care what anybody says. I fucking love Absolution. I think Square did a great job on that, and I loved Hitman Absolution. It's my second favorite next to Blood Money. Everybody knows I love Hitman Blood Money. But it was just CGI. It just shows that 47's back once again. And yeah, he's running through the mountain. Looks like he's working out and jogging, whatever. So hopefully we'll see more. Because that would be really, really nice. Let's see, what's some of the other... Horizon Zero Dawn. That I didn't know how to feel when I first saw that game. By the end of the trailer, I had a better thought process of it. I was just kind of like, okay, this is a new thing that they're going for, a new IP, and it actually looks pretty good. I kind of saw it like it's Monster Hunter meets Zoids kind of thing. And it was interesting. Apparently, like, the machines are still around. People live in tribes out in the wilderness. Looks like they don't really go into the cities at all. So that looked pretty cool to me. I actually like the concept, the idea. It's not just humans living in, like, ghettos and fighting machines, like Terminator style kind of stuff. They live in, like, tribes and stuff like that. I think that's really really cool. So yeah, no, like I would be looking forward to playing Horizon Zero Dawn when it comes out. Next one that actually kind of grabbed my attention, but because it was just a CGI trailer and nothing else, it kind of makes me a little iffy. The Assassin's Creed game that's coming out. Can't remember the official title for it, but you play as a girl in this, and she's very fucking vicious and badass, but that's all they showed. And I'm not trying to shit on anybody, but Ubisoft kind of has a bad track record with Assassin's Creed games and how they're run. Maybe they couldn't get a properly working build for a demo, or maybe they were feeling that their demo looked like complete crap and would hurt them and would just impress people with just a nice, cool CGI trailer. I kind of do want to play that one a little bit. I don't know why. From the CGI, it looks good, but I'm gonna have to see some gameplay first. I guess it's because I like the Victorian style era that it's in and everything. I guess that always has been kind of cool to me. So yeah, that's the Assassin's Creed is pretty good. Let's see what some of the other ones. This was something that I was kind of like, what the fuck with. Call of Duty Black Ops 3. PS4. And I don't know how to feel about that. I don't like Call of Duty. I've seen it a million times on my channel. I do not like Call of Duty. Maybe it's a good marketing idea, but for the longest time, from what I can remember, Call of Duty's prospered more on the Xbox than it has in any PlayStation system, I think. So I was just kind of shocked by that. Don't know why they're doing it. Maybe it was because nobody was buying Xboxes at the time. Maybe Call of Duty got damaged in the last couple of games that people realized that, hey, even if we release a new Call of Duty on Xbox, it's not going to sell the system. Who knows? It might be good. I'll ask my buddies about it when they eventually play it, because I do have a few friends who play it, mainly for like the zombie stuff. But yeah. Final Fantasy VII Remake got announced. I've made a separate video about that. You can go watch that when it's up about it. It's actually like it deserved its own video for me. There was another Final Fantasy game, Final Fantasy Open World, the World of Final Fantasy, that's what it was. And I'm like, its art style is kind of similar to that Final Fantasy musical thing, I think. I really don't know what to think about it. So, yeah. World of Final Fantasy. I think it might be a Vita game or something like that. I'm not too sure. I don't think it's going to be anything memorable, that's for sure. Something just tells me that it might not look like it will be. But something that is memorable and kind of... This is one of the things that I got my fucking mind blown by. Was Shenmue 3. Okay, now if anybody who's been following my channel for so long, you'll know that the Dreamcast is probably like my favorite system of all time. And Shenmue is one of the greatest Dreamcast games of all time, and the sequel came out on the original Xbox. And Shenmue is just really awesome. I love the game. I loved it, how it was set in the 80s. Everybody fucking knows that I'm obsessed with anything from the 80s. And after Shenmue 2 happened, people were kind of like left hanging. Like, is the story ever going to be finished? And I guess the guy had like issues getting it funded for years. I guess like nobody wanted to make it, despite the demand. I think this game was more demanded, like, than other games out there, because I think it's been over 10 years people have been wanting a Shenmue 3. So the creator comes out on stage, which I thought was cool, and he talks about the Kickstarter, and then like instantly, like that shit got funded. When I checked about an hour ago, they were over 2 million. They hit their mark, which I was like, doesn't Sony have a little bit of money to help toss that money out? Maybe give them $1 million, maybe a little less. Either way, it made it. It broke all kinds of records, so I was like, fuck yeah, that's really cool. So yeah, Shenmue 3, definitely gonna be getting it. Hopefully there's a physical copy, because I don't do DLC. I fucking hate that shit. I just don't like DLC. Yeah. And the other thing that they announced was like a bunch of Star Wars stuff. Battlefront, not really interested in. I never really did care for a lot of the Star Wars games, except for the Return of the Jedi on the Super Nintendo and Shadows of the Empire for N64, and there was like one other one I really liked. Can't really remember. It was so long ago. But yeah, no. So I really don't care about that. Then they got the Disney Infinity thing working for them, and I guess is doing really well. I mean, I don't think it did well at first, and I think when they started adding like the Marvel characters to it, I think it started picking up. And now that Disney like totally absorbed like Lucas Studios into its like core consciousness, its being, they're gonna make the neat little Star Wars figures that come with it. I think it's like, okay, yeah, but all right, there's that. Again, really don't care about that. Now, this is the thing that really like hit me hard was Uncharted 4. I was expecting it. I was expecting the trailer for it, and unlike a lot of people, I wasn't mad when they delayed this game before, when they showed like a trailer and shit like that, and they said there was going to be a delay. I wasn't mad, because Uncharted is a game that I really do not want to see rushed, because it's one of my favorite franchises of all time. So you start off like at like the statue, and it's like it's pan downs to the thing, and then there's Sully, who looks very different. It looks like they took like some weight off of his face and everything like that. I mean, he kind of looks like my father. In many ways, Sully does remind me of my dad physically with this newer version of him. So I was like, holy shit, like that's crazy. And then Drake comes in on scene, and then they go into the crowd, and they go like, all right, looks like he's down that way. And then the game like breaks. It's pretty cool. It's like the game is that powerful that it breaks the thing. I think it maybe been like a connection error to the screen, or maybe the controller battery died or something. I don't know. But I thought it was pretty cool that they had to restart it, because I had no problem with them restarting it. And then it like wastes no time getting into the action. Like Drake and Sully are fighting all these guys, then they're going downhill. They gotta find the tower that Sam's at, and they show where it is. And I think that's cool that like, like you ever play a video game where like they say that's where we need to go, and you'll start going halfway, and then a cutscene will happen, and it seems to just take you further towards that, and you skip like a whole bunch of terrain that you should. That's what this game doesn't do. I went back and I watched it a couple times, and I was like analyzing all the stuff, and everything around you, like nothing is safe. The term "bull in a china shop" has never applied to anything more accurate than this right now, because everything breaks in the world of Uncharted, even more than it has in the past, it seems. The insane gunplay, the fighting, the driving the Jeep downhill, avoiding everything. Fucking crazy and awesome. And it makes me really sad too, because this is the last Uncharted game we're getting. Like Uncharted has been a big part of my life since the second one. I didn't play the first one when it came out, because I didn't have a PS3 at launch. I didn't get one until the relaunch with Metal Gear Solid 4. And I still didn't get the first Uncharted game until probably after I beat the second one, actually. I think that's when I went out and bought it. But much like Metal Gear and a couple other games I've talked about already on this thing, on this channel, Uncharted is a very well-written story. Gameplay's fantastic. The characters are very memorable. something that we don't get a lot from like last generation of gaming. So I was really impressed by that. And the way like Drake and Sully like just interact and how they play off one another is fantastic. And I thought that they did a good job bringing it to the next level. So yeah, pretty much at this point, like I am all for like anything from Uncharted 4. I am glad they got pushed back, because it got pushed back, and when it's getting pushed back, we're getting that, and like Street Fighter 5 next year, and like all these games are coming out next year. And with Fallout 4, Metal Gear Solid 5, a few other games that I want to get, I have enough to time me over until the next year. Uncharted 4 is really gonna like hurt to finish that, because they've already announced that it's the last game in the franchise. And the series means a lot to me. So to see that awesome demo that they showed off, it wasn't just CGI, it was the actual fucking demo. It was awesome. And it was like, holy shit, there's more insane actions. And I want to play this game on the hardest fucking difficulty possible, because this looks like it would be a near impossible thing, half the thing they're doing. I mean, Drake like eventually like fucking like hooks that crane or whatever, and he grapples himself out of the Jeep, and he's being like bounced around like he's like the world's worst Spider-Man and shit like that. He's going through all this like debris and getting hit by stuff, and I mean, like, it's really gonna be a great game. So pretty much for Sony's E3, I mean, like, shit, it was good. And Microsoft's was pretty decent too. From a lot of texts I was getting while making this video, I saw my phone lighting up and stuff, and before I started making this video, I was told that the Nintendo one was not going as well as people thought it would. I'll try to do a video on that. But Sony was the one that really got to me. Like, no joke, like, I was Matthew McConaughey while watching like Uncharted and a bunch of this other shit. Like, if you know what I mean, like his cry scene from Interstellar, where he's just like fucking like all like happy and watching the video and being happy, and then like gets really sad. His emotions change, and they keep the camera like focused on him the whole time, so you see the change. That was me. I fucking cried when I watched this shit, because I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Video games in the last generation of gaming have not been that great, okay? The video game industry took a big hit. Big companies no longer doing their big franchises. Developers getting fucked out of games that they rightfully want to make for fans, and for whatever reason, the higher-ups cancel them. I mean, it's not like there's not memorable games on PS3 and 360 back then, but I feel like PS4 will show off like a lot of people that there are going to be games to remember as the years go on, like memorable and iconic ones. At least I hope. But it's brought back some faith for me, you know. And it's not even about console wars or anything like that. It's brought faith back to gaming for me. It's pretty much the best way to say it. I mean, I just really enjoy what I was seeing from this conference, and all the money I'm going to end up blowing. It's gonna be a lot of money. So yeah, but so yes, down below, please let me know what you thought of Sony's E3, Microsoft's E3, and Nintendo's E3. What was your least favorite part? What was the thing that you loved the most from seeing the E3 conference? Like I said, let me know about down below, because I've been running into so many like people on Twitter and Facebook that are like just psyched up, angry, happy, upset, neutral, that kind of shit. It'd be really interesting to see what all the rest of you think about this. So like the video, thumbs it up, and subscribe, because it's free in this day and age. Free's a damn good thing. As always, everybody, thank you for watching. I'm One Big Boss, and I will see you all next time.